Evening, everybody. How are we doing? Just for the start, just because I'm doing a bit of a different setup at the moment, could you guys let me know if you can hear the music okay? If you can kind of see me okay? Is everything in sync? There's a little bit of problems apparently because I'm trying to run so many different things at the same time. My little old PC is chugging a bit, so if you are experiencing a little bit of lag or anything like that, please do let me know. But let's see who's in the chat. Henry, good to see you. Rub that credit card, nice. Bit of reverb. Hang on, let me start again. Les runs off to find wallet and phone to refresh Kickstarter every 20 seconds. Good evening, Anne's. Tiny Magic, hello. Oak and Bronze, evening. Echoey. No music, echoey, no music. Right, okay. Dearie me. Right, let's see if we can sort that out. Disabled. Okay. Cool. Right, how's that? Another Tuesday, another music no-show. I don't know why this always seems to happen. Like, I swear I use the same settings every single time, and then I have to kind of reset everything. There's the music we all love. Brilliant. Good to see you, Ian. Nice to see you, buddy. Tip-top. Music is there. Going to put a brew on for this, I think. I think I will actually join you. Evening, Alex. Sorry, I dragged you away from the Chilling Wargamers stream. Ooh, now this is exciting, isn't it? I'm very, very excited. Now, I'm sorry I've been kind of spamming you over the past few, weeks, but it's been quite intense in the past few days, just because for some reason it's quite difficult, even though you're on kind of social media and stuff like that, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. I feel like unless you're actually paying for like advertising and stuff like that, it's really quite hard to get people to see the stuff that you post. Either that or I'm literally just posting way, way, way too much and you guys are sick of me. Ooh. Chilean Wargamers. Oh, I think they might have to do like a spin-off day. I mean, it would be quite funny if they did actually have someone from Chile to come on as a guest. Then they could be the Chilean Wargamers. Oh, right. Be right back. I'm off to go and grab a cup of tea. Right, well, kettle's boiling anyway. Ian says, sitting here, chilling, drinking Yorkshire tea in my fabulous ArcWorlde mug. Well, it's funny you should say that, because I'm about to do the exact same thing. Just waiting for the kettle to boil. Henry says, nah, adverts are all Lawnmower 3.0. Warplock spam is welcome relief. So has Skynet been overhearing the fact that you were looking for a new lawnmower, and therefore every advert you ever see on Facebook is about lawnmowers? Because that happens to me an awful lot. And saw the pics, Ian. Well jealous. Will have to get me one and some Yorkshire brew too. Man of taste and distinction. I like it. Good evening, Wayne. Hey all. Excited for a new Kickstarter. and watching Alex make a cup of tea. Well, unfortunately, the actual tea preparation will be over in the kitchen corner, but you can definitely watch me drink it. Everybody in the chat, Mr. Rob Huntley has revealed himself. How's it going, Dad? How is the sounds? There was once again a little bit of technical difficulties at the start, but I feel like we've probably got it pretty bang on now. Ooh. So tonight, according to what I'm seeing, we actually have 21 people watching, which I think is, we haven't really seen these numbers since the start of lockdown. So I've been doing these streams since March now, so like 3 months or something. And during lockdown, like, there was a real spike of interest. There was loads and loads of people watching. But obviously now that people are starting to go back to their actual lives, it's started to kind of go down and go down and go down. So it's quite nice to see. There's 20 of you joining us tonight. It's almost as if something exciting is happening. Can't think what that could be. Oh. 21 watching and only 4 likes. Well, apparently, according to my screen, we have a cracking 6 likes. So, you know, every little number helps. Dave is asking, milk or water first? Has to be water, because the tea can't diffuse in milk. So it has to be water. Then you remove the tea bag, add the sugar because it will dissolve better if there's no milk in it, and then you put the milk in last. Good evening, Robbie. Good to see you. And milk always keeps the stains off the mug. Tell you what else does that, mate. The dishwasher. Good to see you, Nick. Oak and bronze sugar? Well, technically I use sweeteners because I'm a good boy. Les, use a pot, milk and sugar first. What sort of heathen takes the tea bag out? Oh. Henry says, I heard milk was from the old days with low quality porcelain that would crack, or hot water first. Oh, I didn't know that. All changes if you're using a teapot. Can't believe we're discussing how to make tea. I mean, I absolutely can believe that we're discussing how to make tea. Because what's actually happening is that we're all really, really excited for the Kickstarter launch. And we have a little bit of time to waste, so we're trying to think of things to keep ourselves occupied and not just jump up and down giddily in our seats. Ooh. Ooh. We were up to 9 likes then, but someone changed their mind. So we're now down to 8, but that's still pretty good. So I guess I should actually do something, actually be official now. So I'd like to thank all of you guys for joining me for the Kickstarter launch party. As I was saying, thank you very much. Haha. Thank you very much. Yeah. So, thank you very much for joining us. We have 20 minutes to go. So, I guess something we could do is before the Kickstarter goes live, if you guys have any questions or about the campaign, what I've got planned for it. I was thinking that we could maybe have a little bit of a sneak peek of the campaign page before we go live, just so you guys know exactly what you're in for. Oh, Jaznaz1, good to see you. Ian Creasy, what a fabulous mug. Alex, cheers to you, and a cheers to you. I'm also repping this rather swanky new Warplock Miniatures t-shirt, which I've been wearing an embarrassing amount because I quite like it. It's quite a nice fit. Jonathan Young, good to see you, buddy. Ooh. So where are we all? Oh, simple. There we actually have got some questions coming in from the chat. So from Les, simple question to start: how long is the campaign? So this campaign will be for 2 weeks. So it will start obviously tonight on the 21st of July, and it'll end at 9 o'clock on the 21st of. No, 21st. Sorry, the 4th of August. Actually, that's just reminded me. I need to check. Aha. Change that to 9 PM. There we go. So originally, the reason why I've changed it was originally because normally the ArcWorlde Kickstarters launch and kind of finish at 8 o'clock, but to kind of give you guys a little bit of time to, you know, have your tea, get the kids to bed and stuff like that, I thought I'd make it a little bit later than normal, just so I would get a bit more time. Sorry for you guys who are kind of phoning in from, let's say, the east of the UK, so you guys in Europe and Australia and everywhere in between. Hopefully staying up for the Kickstarter is worth it. Hope you can get those stretch goals. But yeah, back to you, Les. 2 weeks. So from the 21st of July, 9 PM, to the 4th of August, once again at 9 PM. Jaznaz1, will all the factions be getting something in the Kickstarter? They will indeed. Each of the existing 4 factions will also be getting some new models. So don't worry if you are hoping for something else for your existing warband. I will be providing for you. Ans Morris Swish t-shirt, thank you very much. Increasey, I've got my ArcWorlde Veterans Weekender 2020 t-shirt on. Very nice, very swanky. Robbie, yes, a sneak peek would be good. Alex, thank you. And when is the Bayok Kickstarter again? Meant to jot it down and haven't had a chance to go back through last week yet. So the Bayok Kickstarter is going to be the next one after the Imperials. A lot of it very much depends on how long it takes for me to get everything done. Now I've planned roughly for the Bayok Kickstarter to be around October. So around October, perhaps in November time, but I just do want to give myself enough time to not only get the Imperial stuff shipped and sent out, but also because we are still working on the advanced rules booklet, and because of, you know, the pandemic, we haven't been able to do as much on that because no one's playing any games, because no one's meeting up and having games. So hopefully now that gaming clubs and stuff like that are starting to open up, people are starting to meet up with their friends again, I can start sending out the kind of the alphas of the campaign rules to get out to you guys, so we can get some feedback on it, and we can get that sent to print. Jonathan Young, will the Halfling Tinkerer and his chest be available separately? I want to use the Crimson Fellowship as my Imperials. Yes, so the the Imperial Tinkerer will be his own model. So like the setup will follow a very similar setup to the first, second edition Kickstarter, where you have like the starter warband, and that has everything. You know, has like the commander and then some troops, and then things like the mage, the heavy, the elites, and stuff like that. They will all be add-ons, so you can buy those separately if you don't want the core set. David Priest, good to see you. And roughly is cool, totally understand, it's a lot of work and you have the advanced rules to do. Grand, we'll be in on that as well, look forward to it. Me too. I am really excited to work on the Bayorks. They are one of my favourite factions to do. Like, I'm really excited with some of the concepts and some of the models that we're working on, so I really can't wait to show them off to you guys. You might see a few little sneak peeks at the end of this Kickstarter, I'll let you know. Right. Ooh. So if we don't have any more questions, I will show you guys a little bit of a sneak peek of the Kickstarter page. So can you guys see that? Cool, right, so here is the Kickstarter page. Now this will obviously change in content and stuff like that over the course of the campaign as new models are added on and stretch goals are unlocked and stuff like that. But at the top we have the video. Like, I posted it this morning, I think, just like a kind of a funny little short video, kind of explaining, not really explaining the setting, but it's kind of like a little bit of an amusement thing just for me to get a bit more flavour to the Imperials. So at the top we have a little banner that says all ArcWorlde miniatures are hand sculpted. I did that because, especially since I've started Digital Workshop, there have been a little bit of confusion from some of the guys who follow my work online. They're saying, "Oh, you know, can we get the STL files for the ArcWorlde models?" And I just wanted to kind of let everybody know that no, these are the hand sculpted miniatures. So just thought I'd put that out there. Introduction just kind of explains a little bit about what's the Kickstarter's for. I've got some pictures, got the giantess there. So it explains a little bit about what ArcWorlde is, and then there's a link here to download the rules. Now I have updated the starter warband rules for the Imperials. Those are available online to download now. As the rest of the campaign is unlocked in terms of you know, additional models like the mage and the elites and stuff like that, I will update the rules accordingly as those stretch goals are broken. Then there's a little video here kind of explaining how to play ArcWorlde. I made those for the previous Kickstarter. Just kind of I explain a little bit about how the stats work and stuff like that. I also put up the video of mine and Wing's game last week. So if you know, for you guys who are quite new to ArcWorlde, don't know how the game works or would like to watch a game, I put that up there so you guys can see. And then the miniatures, and then we have a look at the models here. Just breaks down what you get in the starter warband. So you get the Imperial Captain, who's this gentleman here. You get 4 troopers. One of them's armed with a spear, one of them's armed with a shield, and then you've got 2 with Arclock rifles. And then you've got the ammo monkey at the back. Now the ammo monkey is the beast for the Imperials, and his job is essentially to assist the gunmen with reloading their ArcWorlde rifles, because it's quite a fiddly process, especially because in the lore the technology is quite new, so the soldiers are still kind of learning how to use it. So the monkeys have been trained to kind of, you know, pass them their ammo and reload it and things, so it allows them to essentially fire more shots in the round. Then we've got the upcoming stretch goals. So the Imperial Tinkerer is the first stretch goal to be unlocked. That'll be unlocked at a total of two grand. So the goal for the campaign is 1,000, and the Tinker will be unlocked at 2,000. And he is the mage for the Imperials. So the way that he works is he doesn't actually cast spells like the other mages from the other factions. He essentially has a box of magical artifacts that he's made. So not magical, arcane. So they use kind of Arcanite as like a power source, and then it's like he's creating these magnificent kind of mechanical contraptions, and the spell list is essentially his collection of artifacts that he can use. So the more powerful the artifact, the higher the spell count or spell cost is. So, but you'll be able to read a little bit more about that when he is unlocked and the rules are updated on the website. Then the next is the Heavy. So the Heavy is, you know, he's the big ogre that you guys might have seen before. He will be officially revealed once the Tinkerer has been unlocked. Now the next few stretch goals are not based on totals. They're actually based on kind of how long the campaign goes, because one of the things that I've found when doing Kickstarter campaigns in the past is that for a lot of people they kind of back it at the start, and then they just sit and wait until the final day or the final 2 days. So the actual total doesn't change that much unless you're kind of smart about it. So to try and counteract that, and to make sure that there's constantly kind of news and content and stuff being released, quite a few of the stretch goals are time-based. So, for example, if you look here, the halflings, so the new miniatures for the halflings will be unlocked on day 3, which is the 24th, which I believe is Friday, could be Thursday. The next is the Undead Raiders and their new miniatures. They will be unlocked on day 5. Then the Giantess, so the kind of the big monster model. Well, technically she's a sword for hire, but you know, you get what I mean. She is unlocked on day 7, so this time next week. Then the Wild Elves new miniatures will be unlocked on day 9. And then the Beast Folks will be unlocked on day 11. So, you know, every few days there is going to be new content in addition to the Imperials content, which will hopefully kind of be unlocked as the total hopefully steadily creeps up. And then there's just a little thing on how to add add-ons onto your pledge as well during the campaign. So it just goes through the how to do that. Then we look at the pledge levels. So the pledge levels are quite a little bit, like, I'd say they're quite simple. So there is like a kind of a £1 standard pledge that isn't on here, but that essentially allows you to kind of get in on the Kickstarter, see all the updates and things like that, and then essentially pick and choose what models you want to purchase when you get to the pledge manager. But the first proper hang on, I'm just turning this till sunrise. There we go. So yeah, the first kind of proper pledge is the Trooper pledge and the Artisan Trooper. Artisan means that it is resin. These guys, it's just the starter warband. So if you've already got all the factions, if you've already got all the dice and the books and everything like that, and you just want the models, this one is definitely the way to go. Now these guys, there are early birds on here. I believe there are 10 early birds for each, so if you want to grab on that and save a bit of money, be sure to be literally F5 until the campaign is launched. After that, we've got the platoon pledge, and that is your standard kind of, you get the Imperials and the core rulebook, the Explorer as well, and then if there are any stretch goals and stuff that are unlocked over the course of the campaign, there will be a few little freebies and things that I kind of add on at certain points, so keep an eye out for those. The next pledge after that is Cohort, where you get 2 choices, one of them being the Imperials. The other one can be one of the existing 4 factions that you kind of liked the idea of. Perhaps you didn't back the previous Kickstarter, or you didn't back for a particular faction. That gives you a good chance to kind of get them for saving as well. And there are obviously early birds for that as well. And then the Big Daddy pledge is Brigade, and that essentially gives you 5 faction choices. So it gives you the option, if you want to, get all 5 of the factions for ArcWorlde 2nd edition, or you could get multiples of certain factions if you kind of want to bulk out your collection. It's completely up to you, but one of them has to be the Imperials, because this is the Imperials Kickstarter. And then there's just a little breakdown of the other factions that are available for ArcWorlde, and then if you want to kind of see what else is available, there are little links here, and then a little introduction to the team, and then some shipping information. So there we have it, folks. Let me check on the chat, see if I've missed anything. Yeah. So Ian Creasy, go Albionicans and Bayorks. Oscar Hardwick, curious as to the size on the ogre. It's a lovely mini. Dave, so much for getting the kids in bed in time. My son has reappeared. Nick, it's beautiful. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but I'm sure you mean the Ammo Monkey, of course. Is it time to start pressing F5 yet? Maybe soon. Robbie, will there be an all-in kind of pledge? Nick, can we get the STL files? Alex, jazz hands. Henry, by the way, 3D prints are stunning. Not painted the doors and cockatrice as work is manic. Absolutely, I completely get it, but thank you very much. Wayne, all about the ammo. Actually, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to read all these in time, guys. I'll have to kind of go back on those, as we are almost ready to launch. So before we click go, 157 people. Have opted to be reminded, so that's good. Whew, a bit nervous. So I'll be launching it at 8 o'clock on my clock. There's a little bit of delay for the stream, so when I actually say let's go now, might be a few minutes afterwards, so be sure to check your own clock rather than what I say on the stream. Oh. Boom, and we're live. So let's see how we go. So now that now the project is live, I can kind of go back and read everyone's comments. All about the Anna Monkey from Wayne. Lord Maiden, hello, good to see you, buddy. Monkey carrying explosive magics, what could possibly go wrong? Absolutely not. Alex Balky, he has a literal box of tricks. He absolutely does. Robbie Pisano, Arcanite imbued artifacts. Absolutely. My mum says hi to everyone. She's sat next to me as we speak. Brilliant. Ian Creasy, hello Dawn. David Priest, hi Rob and Dawn. Mr. Hardwick, out of interest, as I've always been late to the party on the Kickstarters, does it wait throughout the campaign for you to adjust the pledge and then charge the total at the end, or as you go? No, so it actually it charges you at the end of the campaign. So you can kind of go up and down throughout the course of the project. Jaznaz, are you going to use a pledge manager after it's all done? Absolutely. So we'll be using BackerKit, which has been really, really good for quite a number of my previous projects. It's a really good system, so I'll be going back to that again. Wayne, I like that you explained. Rob, Nick, Borgade, Dawn says your goodies box on its way across the pond. Ian Foster, 5 minutes. Rob, increase a new Trollhound sculpture, please. Wayne Burton, it's great that you explain how to add on to your pledge. I'm glad you think so. Add-on will be my nightmare. Nick, sorry if the goodie box got heavy. I couldn't stop wanting things. David Priest, is the merch going to be available through the Kickstarter? Yep. So that'll be, if you do want to add on merch and stuff like that, we can put that in your box. Ian, hi Rob and Don, hope you're both well. Ian, Alex Barkley, ooh, is there Imperial dice in the Kickstarter? There absolutely is. Oh wow. Hang on, I'm just catching up. Woo! And we're funded in 2 minutes. I think that is an actual record. I mean, I might be wrong, and some of you guys who kind of remember my previous campaigns might correct me, but I do believe that that is the quickest Kickstarter funding that ArcWorlde has ever seen. So that's quite good, isn't it, guys? Ansvoris, think it's time to start my Hobbit collection along with the new Imperials. Very wise. Ian Foster, you know you've got an ArcWorlde parcel when you see that tape. Halfway funded already. You're funded, yeah, and funded. Congrats, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much, guys. Alex, only back at number 6. Silly and Cumbrian Internet. Saw me down. Number 6, that's quite low for you, Alex. Ian Creasy having tech issues. Awesome work though, yay. Hippopotamify. Hiya, I was looking at your Tyrex Croc Blockers mini and it seems perfect for my D&D character, but there is no mention of how big it is. Would you know how tall it stands? Now, I haven't got it with me, so I can't tell you exactly. But if I would say he's probably, so he's on like a 32mm base. He's a big chunky boy. So I would say he's probably about 40 to 45 millimeters long and maybe about 40 millimeters high, potentially 45 including the headdress and stuff like that. He's a big chunky model. And thank you very much. Jonathan Young, huzzah, early bird on the Kickstarter for a change. Congratulations. David Priest not coming up on my Kickstarter. Have you checked the link that I've posted in the chat? Not in the chat, sorry, on the Facebook page. Nick, congratulations. How does it feel to be massively successful? When you've been working on a project for so long, like, it does feel amazing when, people really do enjoy what you make. I mean, I've been working on the Imperials. Other than the digital stuff, that's kind of been my lockdown project. So it does feel really nice to see you guys really like them. Oak and Bronze, how do you know what number backer you are? I think it says it on the email when you back it. Scott M, backer number 1. Bloomin' hell. Good job, Scott. Hippopotamus, that's perfect. Thank you, no problem. Alex, is Tyrex Ancient One? Is it? Oh, hang on. sorry, Hippopotamophotamaphai. I got the wrong one. I was thinking of Jurassic Tark. So T-Rex is massive. So I would say, he's probably as big as this guy. So you're looking at about, hang on, let me get the tape. So he's pretty much 60 mil high, so he's roughly that. So he's a big chunky boy. Hans Morris, well done, Scott. Yeah. Henry, I guess I should paint the last two Kickstarters. My Blood Oak looks sad. I mean, I think it's best, and I think he would go very well with the Wild Elves, and as a very good antagonist for your Imperials. Jonathan Young, yes, on your email, I am number 4. Congratulations, John. That's a good high number. Scott M, thank you all. Happy to enjoy this with you all. Well, guys, once again, from me, congratulations for being number 1. It is a highly coveted prize, and I know that there's quite a few of the ArcWorlde community that fight and elbow and wrestle amongst themselves to get as high as possible. So, yeah, congratulations. Ian Creasy, by luck, managed to get my Artisan Trooper pledge, but it's not easy to select pledge levels. I was trying to scroll down and it was scroll to the right. So you're using the app on your phone, or you're using the web app? Not the web app, the actual website. Hans Morris, this weekend, Henry will be doing the same. Just today got a chance to prime my Imperials from Troll Bridge. Excellent, so you get them ready for when their brothers turn up in a few months' time. Hippopotamophai, are we too big for my needs then? I am sorry about that, but he is, in terms of, not Blood Bowl, he is a not Croxigore. So he is, an ogre-sized character. But, I mean, in your D&D campaign, there is nothing wrong with just saying that he's eating his spinach. He trains a lot. He works out a lot. Oscar Hardwick, number 20, is I didn't have my card to hand. Did manage to wrangle an Artisan Trooper early bird, though. Happy camper. Right, so let's see how we are doing. So at the moment, we are 8 minutes in and £1,700. So we've already almost broken the first Kickstarter, the first stretch goal, which I was not expecting. I was not expecting it to go so quickly. So once the stream is over, I'm going to have to do some pretty frantic photoshopping to update the thingy accordingly. Yeah. So I mean, I'm kind of a little bit speechless, so I'm essentially just babbling here at this point. But thank you all so much for hopping in as quickly as possible. I really do hope you enjoy the campaign. I do have loads of cool stuff planned, like I've got just for the Imperials, but for you guys who are backing to get access to the existing warbands, there's going to be some pretty exciting models coming up for you guys too. Rob Hunt, Hippopotamophai, he's 6 centimeters high. Yes, I guessed he'd be about 60 millimeters. Henry Collier, nice work, Hans Morris. I felt proud at priming the Troubles in the North, then found a 2nd edition box. Hippopotamophai, cheers, mate, to Rob Huntley. Henry Collier, number 5, Artisan Trooper, congratulations. Ian Creasy back at number 35 here. Hans Morris, I'm looking forward to getting some paint down. Good man. Les, number 28. The stretch goals will probably hurt the wallet though, if I can help it. Henry, Les Fulwock, tell me about it. Oh yeah, so how many of you guys were on not last week's stream? Was it last week's? Or was it the week before? I think it might have been the week before when I showed off all of the models. David Priest, why won't Kickstarter let me view pledge? Are you doing it on your phone, or are you doing it on a computer? Actually, whilst I'm on Facebook, I should probably post a link. You guys are distracting me, but a very lovely distraction. So post that to the group. Do 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 do. Ba ba da ba ba do boo. Yeah, that's all posted. Henry, my first live stream. Well, I hope you've enjoyed yourself. Robbie, my Kickstarter app doesn't work. As I was saying, like, I think, you know, generally it's better to get it on a PC or a laptop or something like that. Lord Maiden, the week before was the Beastmen versus Undead Raiders game, right? You know, lockdown, man. Like, it just all the weeks and days seem to blend into each other. The phone app lagged hideously at 9 PM. Ugh. Yeah, the Kickstarter app is rubbish. That's Grand Henry, first of many, I hope. This is my very first Kickstarter. Congratulations. Ooh. Congratulations. I hope you enjoy what we have planned for you. Cost me an early bird. Thankfully, I am a Y Kickstarter person of old and had the PC to hand. Why? Jaznaz, it still hasn't appeared on the app. Had to search on Safari. Still hasn't appeared. That's a bit naff. And I've just heard that already thinking about a 3D printer. Mr. Hardwick just nudged over 2K. Amazing effort, Warplock team. Thank you very much. Let's have a look. Wow, a bit more than a nudge. 2,119. Yeah, this is going a little bit quicker than I was expected. Like, I think I probably shouldn't have underestimated you guys, because I was like, you know, it's just a one faction Kickstarter. It'll just kind of pootle along. I can take my time with getting all the stuff updated. But I think after the pledge, sorry, after the stream finishes, I'll definitely have to spend a few hours, not hours, you know, a little while on Photoshop to make sure all the stretch goals are updated. And as well, like, I'm actually going to have to get some drawing done too. So I've got quite a lot of the models ready already, but you know, as is probably expected, there will be a few kind of bits of concept art and stuff that I'll be uploading. I will be doing some sculpting over the course of the next 2 weeks, but because I've been basically fully focused on getting the Kickstarter ready for most of July, I do have to do some work on August's Patreon models. So I'm going to be kind of interspersing digitally sculpting with traditional sculpting and artwork and stuff like that. Another thing that I would quite like to do over the course of the campaign is do a few more kind of live streams, perhaps some painting ones, perhaps some gaming ones, perhaps some sculpting ones. Are you enjoying this kind of setup so far, guys? What other kind of content would you like to see released over the course of the next 2 exciting weeks? Robbie, I knew it. Yes, laptop was a better idea, Alex. Sorry, no early bird. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And thank you, I've enjoyed certainly these streams and the community. It's the best out there and loving the Kickstarter. Thank you very much. I am incredibly lucky to have such an amazing community with the ArcWorlde guys. But yeah, it's great to have you. Wayne, log into Kickstarter via search engine to see it. App can update slowly. Henry Collier, Elegoo Mars for the win. Absolutely, that's the one I've got. Hype train is real. Les, is one of the stretch goals calling them Albionicans again? Well, though they are still the Albionicans, so they are the soldiers of Albionica. It's just the kind of the faction name is Imperials because it's a lot easier to spell. That's basically why I changed it. We need some new stretch goals. We do, Dagfin, but unfortunately I'm chatting with you beautiful people, so as I said, once the stream is over, I'm probably going to have to head off at about 9:30, just so I can get some work done on updating the Kickstarter page. Dave, number 8. First ArcWorlde Kickstarter for me, though I have plenty of models already which I really should paint more of. Congratulations, welcome to the gang. Jaznaz, high five Les. Oak and Bronze, somewhere between 8:30 and 9 I went from wait for the Bayorks and just get some halflings and beasts for extras this time to go, 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 early bird, now! That's what I like to see. Nick got to see that picnic table. Well, it is actually quite interesting. So I did read the what you wrote on the ArcWorlde group, and I think it's a really, really good idea. Because I was, from speaking to you guys last week, I am actually going to be doing some kind of terrain-y bits, and what you suggested has really kind of got the old cogs going in terms of actually having rules for terrain. Then it kind of give you guys, actual game buffs to use these bits of terrain in your games, and so there wouldn't just be scenario pieces or bits of just bog standard terrain. They would be essentially not like playable models. But yeah, I'll be doing some concept art and things, and I'll be posting that up over the course of the next 2 weeks. See what you guys think. Paint sessions on any new sculpts would be good fun. Well, I've painted everything, so that's kind of why I've been so busy. So most of the models that I've got that have been cast, I've already painted up. So I'm in this very weird position for a wargamer that I have actually painted everything that I've got. I'm literally going to have to sculpt more stuff before I can paint again. They appreciate sorted. Good to hear it, buddy. Dagfin games with the Albionicans, absolutely. And Dagfin was reading Troubles in the North, and lo and behold, there's a Dagfin, so that's you, right? I mean, coincidence is a very fine thing, There's only so many Scandinavian names I could have used, right? Jaznaz, time to call up the Black Sun boys. Ian Creasy, not that I want to change my pledge, but I can't seem to scroll through them. Are you still on the app? David Priest, any chance of another weekender this year? Well, because you were there at the start, actually at 2020's weekend. The original plan was we were going to kind of do one every 6 months. So have one in winter and around January time, and then have one in summer, basically around now. Because of the current situation, chances are I'm probably going to wait until 2021, because I think that's when everything fun is going to happen. This year's a bit of a write-off, but I will definitely keep everybody updated. It might you know, once things do start to kind of ease, I would be up for kind of organising a bit of a kind of more of a casual meet up with you guys. I am actually going to the, hopefully, fingers crossed if it all goes okay, the next Gotham to Samaria weekend at Element Games in, oh, where's it? I always forget the name of the town. Near Manchester, it begins with S. I've forgotten what it's called. But I mean, I went there in February with my good friend Ian, and it had an amazing weekend. It was really great to see the guys, met some really good friends, and I'm very, very keen to go there again. Already bought a ticket, but if you are around the Manchester area, or even if you fancy just travelling to Manchester area in October, it's a cracking weekend. It's Friday to Sunday. Full gaming. There's a bar. There's everyone organises takeaways and stuff like that. Just a cracking weekend with the lads. And you know the community's great. There's some really, really great people. Kieran, the organizer, or one of the organisers, I never quite know it. I've heard conflicting reports. He does an amazing job. You know, he puts his heart and soul into making sure that everyone's having a really, really good time. So, even just as like a punter's perspective. Really, really good. Dagfin Ans, I think I might have been inspiration, but who knows how these writers' minds work? Alex Barkley, I'll have to get my Troll Bridge built at some point then if it's getting rules. Maybe. Henry, say what? David Table is a great idea. Henry painted. All models explain how. I know, it's weird, isn't it? Ian Creasy, I won't be attending even if there is one. Not safe enough yet, in my opinion. Very wise. And lol, that's great. I was hoping so. Great character, Dagfin, and really great coincidence. Good to see you, Jacko. Henry Stockport, near me. Yep, it's in Stockport. That's where it is. So so yeah, Henry, if you do fancy a gaming weekend and getting a little bit boozy, get in contact with Gotham to Samaria lads. It's a really good time. Anne's hello, Wacko Cove, David Priest. Pub meet would be great. Henry, which weekend? Count me in. I can't remember. Hang on, let me check. See what the actual weekend is. The 16th of October. So I'll post a link in the chat. So hopefully, you know, anything can happen, can't it? But fingers crossed, things are going to continue to go okay, so we should be all right. I mean, the actual gaming hall is ginormous. So even if we did have to carry on socially distancing and things like that, I have full faith in Kieran and the organisers that they make sure that it's safe enough for everyone. Earth and Panda, I live in Manchester, just the wrong one across the pond. I mean, you know, once the planes start going again, you never know. Henry Collier actually might be around. Yeah, can't be. I mean, once again, I know I keep kind of pontificating about it, but it is a really good weekend. Even if you're not that into gaming, you know, and you just fancy going with a few friends and just chilling and just having a few beers over the course of the weekend, it's just a great opportunity to meet like-minded people and stuff like that. It's like speed dating, but for nerd friends. Ian Foss, it's very limited numbers for Oktoberfest, so social distancing shouldn't be a problem, and it's only us for the whole weekend. Absolutely. So actually, when we went in February, there was I think it was a 40k tournament on at the same time. So there was another 100, maybe not 100, but 50 to 100 people playing, as well as the Gotham to Samaria guys, and there was loads of room. And I Amy very pop up and see you all. I have to trek across the Severn Bridge, but would be great to meet you all. Absolutely. Henry Collier, like speed dating, but for nerd friends. Alex Huntley 2020, and you can put that. Kieran, if you're watching this, you can put that on the kind of the Facebook page and all the advertisements and stuff like that. Mm. Jacko could play ArcWorlde using the long pushing sticks like they do in the military. That's actually a pretty cool idea. That does actually remind me. So we had quite a few games of ArcWorlde over the course of the last weekend. Like really good fun. One of my favourite moments was actually one of the lads. I think his name's Russell. I think it was Russell. And he chose to play his Gremlins, but specifically he wanted to get as many models as he physically could for the points. And he called it the Chod Horde. So we were chanting Chod Horde quite a lot during the game. And I think for like 1,000 points game, I think it was up against the Arcanid Queen and a few Arcanids. He had, I think, about 35 models on the board. It was insane. Alex Barkley, this is a work of fiction. Names, characters, and places are products of the author's imagination. Any resemblance to actual person living or dead is purely coincidental. See Dagfin, coincidence. Dave Wilson, 10-hour train ride, apparently. Where the bloody hell do you live? Earthen Panda, Alex, could I get some other older factions as well and have them shipped together? So do you mean like the second edition factions or like the first edition factions that haven't been updated yet? Because once I do the pledge manager and stuff like that, I'll update the Kickstarter page. Excuse me. But yeah, there will be an option to essentially combine shipping from orders from the web store, as well as the Kickstarter stuff. So if you do kind of want to make a big order, yeah, that's fully fully doable. Simon Powell, congratulations on the great start to the campaign, buddy. Thank you very much. We were actually just talking about Gotham to Samaria. If you've only just joined us, I was going on and on about how great of a weekend it was. Dave Wilson, oh, that's the overnight train. Henry, red versus blue halflings as add-ons. Now, they probably won't be actually in the campaign itself, but as I was saying before, if you do want to make purchases from the web store, we can ship those together with your Kickstarter stuff if you do want to, save a bit of money on postage. Dagfing, lol, Alex would not be a nudge on my merchant guards of Port Chilane. Well, I am very open to stuff, people's own lore and things like that. Kind of going on from what we were talking about a few weeks ago about the kind of the ArcWorlde encyclopedia kind of thing. I have decided, and this is official, take it from me, I am going to do that. It's something that I've wanted to do for years and years and years, and I've decided that once the first 12 ArcWorlde factions are sculpted, I'm going to take some months out from sculpting for ArcWorlde. I'll still be keeping up with my Patreon for you guys, but I'm going to be spending a good solid 6 months on creating like a proper hardback lore book. Now, it might not be for all of ArcWorlde. It might just focus in on the kind of upper ArcWorlde, which is where all the stuff we've kind of been excited about, or not excited about, we've been looking at is set. But then I think it would be quite a good opportunity for me to really sit down and think about, what lies outside and get my ideas on paper so that when I do expand the game into other countries and stuff like that of ArcWorlde, I kind of have that as a kind of a source book for me as well as you guys, especially because it's hopefully, it'll be quite useful for you guys who are getting into the role-playing game as well. So my good friend Adam is working on an ArcWorlde RPG as we speak. It's in its very early stages, but we did a play test of it a few weeks ago and works really, really well because it uses the same mechanics as the core game of ArcWorlde. So if you guys are quite new to RPGs but know ArcWorlde, it's a very easy kind of slide in. And then if you guys are into RPGs but new to ArcWorlde, once you've kind of got to grips with that game, it will be very easy to slide into, you know, the core game as well. So we wanted to make it as cross-pollinatable as possible. And Morris, my Crimson Brotherhood arrived last weekend. Henry, really nice models. Simon Powell, G2S Oktoberfest is going to be awesome this year. Can't wait to get some Imperials on the table. Rob Street, G2S is the whole reason I'm here. Love the demo game I had in Feb. Thank you very much. And I'm glad you enjoyed the demo game. I mean, I'm sure it was probably Ian who did the demoing, and he's, you know, an amazing demoer. So yeah, you were in very, very good hands. And Grand, that lore book will have a pride of place. Lots and lots of the lovely maps and hardback would also be lovely. Well, I think you might be in luck. Alex Black, is that Goblin Eye here? Yeah, she's been quite shouty today. You know, quite needy, so we think she's might be coming back on heat again. So that's a few more sleepless nights for me and my girlfriend, but you know, it's fine. It's fine. Earth and Panda, awesome, that's exactly what I meant. This range is also the only miniature range I have 100% painted. Wow, congratulations. I think you deserve like a badge or something. Although it's in my best interest to make sure that we break that number and increase the number of models you have left to paint. And I'm jealous, Earth and Panda, but fear not, this weekend the painting commences. Good man. Alex Barkley, Encyclopedia Albionica, Volume 1. Good name. Les, Earth and Panda, same as. All my ArcWorlde stuff is painted. Need more. If there was only a Kickstarter or something to help. I wonder. Oop. Hang on. Keep the stuff going. The music. So yeah, as I was speaking of painted models, that's kind of been a lot of what I've been doing over the past few weeks. So I've been sending off my sculpts to my dad, who's our resin caster, and he's in the chat, I think. He's done an amazing job on the resin versions. I'm the first person who gets to paint them up myself, and I can say, even I'm slightly biased. I mean, he's done an incredible job on the resin. So if you have going for the artisan pledges, my dad, I'm very comfortable in saying that he is the best resin caster in the industry. So you guys are really going to enjoy the stuff, especially if you're new to ArcWorlde. Those of you who are already ArcWorlde fans, you are all very aware already, how good the quality of resin casting my dad has. So you have nothing to worry about. That quality is going to continue, if not increase, as he gets better and better and better. So and my mum as well, she is in charge of the packing section. So she's done an absolutely incredible job over lockdown, because normally when we do a Kickstarter, I would, because mum and dad still live up in Yorkshire, I live in Nottingham, and I usually go back home and kind of camp there for a week or so and kind of assist in the packing of the Kickstarter. But because of the lockdown and stuff like that, my mum and dad, more my mum, she did most of the work completely on her own. She packed all the ArcWorlde Second Edition Kickstarter on her own. She did an incredible, amazing job. And the reason why you have your models in one piece is all because of her. So she will be doing her good work again for this one. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be able to go up and help this time around. But in terms of actual delivery dates, we are hoping for roughly about October time. I have got most of the stuff that I am offering, already sculpted, already cast. But depending on the number of stretch goals we hit, I will need a little bit of time to make sure that they're sculpted. My dad will need a little bit of time to make sure that they're cast in resin, and then my metal caster, John, who is an absolute craftsman himself, will work his magic on making those models in metal. So it's a whole process, but you know, this is Kickstarter number 8. Kickstarter number 8, so we're quite well practiced now. So fear not. Hopefully, fingers crossed, everything will go without a hitch. Alex Barkley, to break the trend, all of my Warplock collection is not painted. Just 351 to go. Have I sculpted 351 models? I think actually I was having a chat with Dagfin and a few others, and we worked out that I've sculpted about 120 halfling models. Just halfling models, 120 in my career, not including the ones that I made before ArcWorlde was launched in 2013. So there's a lot of halflings. Earth and Panda, good thing I locked in an early bird of the Resin Brigade. Good man. David Priest, lol, Alex, I'm doing well, but still have so many to paint. Nick, man, can your parents adopt me? They're awesome. They are awesome. I mean, if you do want to... I mean, we do have... I'm sure we have a spare room at the Huntley household back up in Yorkshire, so if you do want to be adopted... I mean, I'm sure we can find you a dog bed or something. Ian Foster, that's my pledge increase for the Tinkerer. Yeah, I really wasn't expecting things to break that quickly. And your mum and dad are true legends, Alex. We really appreciate all the time they take and support. Absolutely, they are my heroes. Henry, contrast paints for skeletons. Actually, I've only got 2 contrast paints, and I've used both of them for the Imperials because they both have colours that I can't do. So that's the red and the white. So you can't really see the camera, unfortunately, because the way I'm doing this is I'm on a Zoom call. So I have a laptop here for one camera, and then I have my model cam through to my PC. So the actual quality is bobbins, unfortunately. But yeah, so the red and the white contrast paint helped wonderfully. David Priest, Rob and Dawn are amazing, doing everything for ArcWorlde. They absolutely are. Dagfin, no, 100 plus the Blood Bowl team. Wow. So even more than 100. So 100 halfling, 100 ArcWorlde halflings specifically. Oof. So we are up to 2,781. So with not even hit our number 1 yet. We've almost broke the next stretch goal after the Tinkerer. So I'm definitely gonna have to get cracking with ye olde sketchpad. But yeah, I think I'm having a good time. I hope you guys are having a good time too. So I will we'll log off at about 10 o'clock. Let's say 10 o'clock, and then I will tinker away at the campaign page and update it. Now let's read some of the comments on the actual Kickstarter page. Unbeliever, in for the ride again. Simon Powell, funded already, now let's get working on the stretch goals. Helios Faust, Knight of the Ringtail Fox, time for some new minis. Simon Powell, looks like we're getting a Tinkerer. We'll have to think how I can squeeze him into my halfling force as well. Martin Cloutier, I think that's probably how you pronounce it. Huzzah, managed to snag an early bird artisan cohort. I was hoping the goblins would be in the war bands, but guess I'll have to choose between the halflings or the beast folk. Can't wait to see the unlocks. So yeah, for you, all you goblin fans, the gremlins, which are the ArcWorlde goblins, they're going to be the Kickstarter after the Bay Orcs. So depending on obviously how long it takes and stuff like that, they should be roughly around February. Perhaps January. The thing is that Christmas always kind of messes things up a little bit because obviously, people have more important things to spend their money on than toy soldiers for themselves. They can buy toy soldiers for other people, but unfortunately not for themselves. So most Kickstarters tend to stray away from kind of December, January time. So at the moment, and these plans are, completely open to change, we're looking at about February for the Gremlins, and then after that, we have a campaign that I'm incredibly excited about. Our next duo, or say our first duo campaign, we will be releasing the vampires and the wizards in one, potentially. Once again, these plans might change, but those are the two remaining brand new warbands for 2nd edition. I've ever since I came up with the concept of them last year, I've been really raring to go to get those sculpted. I think they have the potential to be some of the best models I've made so far. I really, really want to get my hands on these guys. So keep an eye out for that. It's going to be a really, really good one. And then after that, I will revisit the Troubles in the North factions. So the Norsvald, the Dark Lords, and the Ancient Dead. They will be getting their 2nd edition upgrade after the Wizards and the Vampires. Probably, I think, depending on how I decide to do it, they might all be in one, or they might be kind of divided out again, kind of like how I'm doing with the remaining OG factions from 1st edition. Oof. We've broken 3,000. Oh, nope. Spoke too soon. We've gone down again. Oh, no. We've gone up again. So we have... We have 8 more early bird platoons. We have 1 more early bird cohorts left. We have 1 early bird artisan cohort left. Alex, I've got 402 on the spreadsheet, but possibly 1 or 2 duplicates in places. Think I have 80-ish ArcWorlde halflings in there, so Dagfin is still higher on that. Increasing pledge level increase, so taking account the Tinkerer and Giantess might even have to add more. Rob Huntley bad gag. I think that was the Tinkerer, wasn't it? Dagfin, the one you showed me the other day would be number 100. Les, look forward to the ArcWorlde Bad Pun book. David Priest, should I put the extra pledge in now? Robbie just did it, David, 200 for now. Ooh. Alex, that would be overwhelming. Ian Foster, 3 grand. Pfft. Nick, almost 4 grand in freedom dollars. Oh, excellent. Robbie, Wizards and Vampires. And added the Tinkerer to the pledge. I think I'll be adding the Giantess as it's just cracking. Thank you very much. Speaking of cracking, I was actually reading some comments on Beasts of War on Tabletop, and there was 2 people who were like, it's not really my thing, it looks too cartoony. One of them said, it looks like it should be in Chicken Run or Wallace and Gromit or something like that. And I was like, I take that as like a real not like a compliment. You know, Aardman stuffs is amazing. You know, beloved by millions. So the fact that someone said, "Oh, it looks like it should be Chicken Run," actually makes me feel pretty good. Les, any chance of seeing the models in the flesh again to remind us? Yes. So, get your peepers ready, gang. I'll show you everything that we've got. So, model number 1. We have the captain. So once again, sorry for the terrible quality camera. Then we have ArcWorlde Rifleman number 1. ArcWorlde Rifleman number 2. Then we have the trooper armed with a shield. Where's the... Yeah, there it is. Hang on. So then we have the trooper with a spear. And then we have the ammo monkey. The Tinkerer. And then the Tinkerer's chest. Now for you guys who haven't seen it, look, it has little legs. He's kind of in a sat down position. So it kind of walks about and follows him around the battlefield. And then I'm not sure if this will work because the focus is all a little bit off. The giantess. So I can show you a bit of detail on the kind of the model cam. But then on the main cam, I can show how big she is. Ooh. So there we go. So let's look back on the chat. Robbie, and I'm addicted to minis cooking myself together. Jacko, it's the caricature look that appeals to me. Think the style is unique to anything else out there. Thank you very much. Henry says, I agree. I play a lot of Games Workshop systems as well as bolt action and Firelock games historicals, so the character style is so nice. Thank you very much. And yeah, I agree, Alex. There can be some passive-aggressive comments over on Beasts of War sometimes. I had to get in there and point out not everything has to be grimdark or Tolkien. Unique is better. Thank you very much. Dagfin, what's the difference between pledge without a reward and a treasure map pledge? £1, I think. I'm not too sure. I don't know. So maybe pledge without a reward would be better. Mr. Bassano, that is the reason why it's unique, wacky, beautiful. Thank you. Les, that giant is stupidly huge. Awesome. And I was wondering that too. Very true, Robert. Yeah, thank you very much, guys. So we have just less than 10 minutes left of the stream before I have to get back to the grind and actually update the Kickstarter. It's been going blooming quick. We'll see where we're at the moment. What, 3091 and 71 backers, which is incredible. Thank you all so much for backing. Ooh, that tea. Back to the Coke. Les, oh no, oh, of course I forgot the ogre. So this young man is what's going to be unlocked after the Tinkerer, the Imperial Ogre. Now he is armed with a volley gun, which is an absolute beast. It's essentially four ArcWorlde rifles strapped together. You can see there. So he's going to be essentially a moving artillery piece. It is going to be quite pricey in terms of points, or gold points, or gold pieces. You know, not only is he a big chap who can actually do a lot of fighting on his own, but with that absolute beast of a weapon next to him, he's definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with. Increase, did you have a price for the Tinkerer and Giantess? Want to make sure I've added enough funds. I thought I had the price of the Tinkerer on there. Yeah, so the prices for the Tinkerer is actually on the Kickstarter already. So he's for the two models is £12 in resin or £10 in metal. As for the Giantess, I haven't quite decided yet. I have a rough idea that she's probably going to be around the same price as the other two big monsters I've done for second edition. There might be a little bit of wiggle room either way. I do need to talk to my dad about, you know, the costs of manufacturing and stuff, but roughly around 65 to 70, roughly. So kind of have that budget in mind. Les, he's great. Sneaky cash price leak. He's getting added to the pledge. I would say about... Hang on, let me just check. That's the thing, like, I've got a pretty rough idea for all these things, but I was expecting to have a bit more time. Just a second. Roughly around roughly around £25. Let me just check the ogre. Yeah, between £20 to £25. Robbie, just to know, Alex, have you tried to sculpt an alternative version of the new ogre? Not yet. If there is a call for it, I'd 100% be up for sculpting an additional one, perhaps with assault or more kind of melee weapons and stuff. As the Kickstarter goes along, I will be kind of speaking to you guys about additional models, because normally, you know, I like to sculpt at least one of everything. But if there are, you know, duplicates of certain characters that you do really want to see, do let me know. Depending on how much stuff we do unlock, I might end up saving it for a future Kickstarter, because one of the things I'm going to carry on doing as a thing is, you know, every future Kickstarter will have releases for previous factions, so there will always be new content for your faction being produced. But if you guys do want an ogre with an additional kind of weapons loadout, do let me know. David Priest, are there going to be any new minis for stretch goals? Absolutely. Every stretch goal is going to be new minis. So if I know you kind of missed it because you're a bit later on coming in, but there will be new models for each of the existing 4 factions as stretch goals, but rather than based on cost, you know, as like the total, like the core ones, they'll be kind of released on certain days. Can you guys imagine how rich Alex would be if he sculpted a pin-up halfling? Like, I mean, it's really quite funny because in my kind of like main friendship group, I'm the only one who's really into miniatures, and they take the mickey out of me so much for the fact that I basically just sell halflings, and because like halflings are my most popular thing that I make. And so they're always like, "Oh, Alex, you know, if you just did, you know, sexy halflings, you'd make an absolute fortune." So I don't know. Maybe when I'm saving up to buy, I don't know, my 3rd house or something, fingers crossed, I'll be like, right, I'm going to do a Kickstarter just sexy halflings and see how well that does. Alex, an ogre with a big hammer to fit with the engineering type theme would be cool. That is quite a cool idea. David Priest, maybe a new monster called the Situation. Les Dawn's rolling around on the floor laughing. Yeah, I can probably think of quite a few people who'd really enjoy some sexy halflings. But I'm an artist, I have standards. Right, so it is on my clock, it is 2 minutes to 10. Let's call it a night. So thank you all so much for joining me on the Kickstarter launch stream. I hope you enjoyed yourself. If you do have any, you know, requests for more content over the next 2 weeks, pop a comment either on the Facebook group or on the actual Kickstarter page itself. If you haven't checked out the Kickstarter yet, there is a link in the description of this video. If you want to be a member of the ArcWorlde community on Facebook, it is just type in ArcWorlde Official in the Facebook search bar. We're also on Instagram. We're also on Twitter. If you're interested in the digital miniatures that I sculpt, if you want to have 3D prints, you want to print off your own, my Patreon link is also in the description of the video. Look for Warplock Miniatures on Patreon. We're also on my mini factory too. I think that's all my spiel done. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining me. It's already been so incredible, the response to the campaign. As a final check, just before we log off, it is 3113, which is insane. So if so, all of you guys, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm literally just babbling now. So thanks for joining, guys, and I shall see you once more on the next stream. Thank you very much, folks, and have a lovely evening. I'm just waiting for the actual buffering to catch up.